YouTube, we're here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, to For Pete's Sake, a weekly wrestling show where we talk about everything wrestling. Today we're going to be having a discussion about Payback 2014. So, right off the bat, what do you think of Payback?
Payback, well, I'm going to start with the Wolf rating, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Did ratings come at the end?
No, the Wolf.
Okay, we'll continue on.
6 out of 10. There was a few good matches. Most of the results were predictable, which, you know, that's not something I like to go for. But matches I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Evolution versus Shield. Oh, and I was disappointed Bo Dallas didn't get a match. I was actually excited when he came out, and then they just took that away from me.
I thought the pay-per-view was good, despite the predictable outcomes. I thought each match delivered, some more than others, and I think it was a great pay-per-view. Like, me and you just talk, and then the camera just picks it up.
Alright. You have to lead it though, bro.
Okay. So what'd you think of Sheamus versus Cesaro?
It was a physical match as expected. I wasn't really 6 out of 10 also. It wasn't that great of a match. It wasn't that bad of a match.
I thought it was a good match. I knew going in it was going to be very physical, and as they call it, a sleeper match where people don't expect it to be good, but I was into it the whole time. I liked the intensity that they showed, and I think the right guy went over. Sheamus is still kind of building up. Cesaro already has, momentum going in, so he didn't really lose anything in the loss because it was a schoolboy, and I think the feud's going to continue. I think it is, and I think it's going to be a good feud. I mean, he hates Sheamus, but I like both of them, and I think this feud is going to be a good feud. It's going to go on, and the thing that was surprising was how this match was one of the only matches that didn't have a stipulation, and they were actually able to just do a hard-fought brawl, and the crowd was into it. I was entertained throughout the whole thing, and I think it was a good match between both guys.
And the crowd chanted "Let's go Blackhawks" during this match.
Did they?
Yeah, so that shows how much they were into that.
You can't blame them.
Okay.
Anyway, after that match, apparently, if you didn't watch the pre-show, they showed the setup for the following match after is Ryback versus Goldust and Cody Rhodes, or Rybacksel, excuse me. And what do you think?
I'm starting to like the Rybacksel team. They're starting to come together more as a tag team instead of just two different single guys put together. I think they could be funny, so I hope we get to see more of their funny side. As far as the match, it was okay, nothing special. I'm glad finally Goldust had something to do, and they broke. It looks like they're breaking up, so I think that's about time as well.
Yeah. Well, I like that they gave story to Cody Rhodes and Goldust, but at the expense of Ryback and Curtis Axel. I think even though they won, they gained absolutely nothing from this win. It was more focused on Cody Rhodes' loss. So in terms of the tag team division, I don't see this didn't help anything. It furthered the storyline between Cody Rhodes and Goldust, and that's good. But I like to see more progress through the tag team division. I didn't see any of that. And plus, I got something to say about.
No spoilers, Pete.
Well, I was going to say, the Usos, who are the tag team champions, didn't even have a match on the card. However, that's because they were featured in John Cena's match, so we can't really hate on that.
Rusev versus Big E on a one-on-one match. This one to me was a surprise match because they're both big guys, and it's surprising how athletic they are. They went hard. That big spear that Big E gave to Rusev going out to the ring was great. That got the crowd going. Well, to me, this was one of the better matches of the card. And it was surprising because these are just two big, slow-moving guys, but they pulled it off, and then...
Well, I thought the match served its purpose. It was a quick 4-minute match. I like the big spear that Biggie did. It actually woke the crowd up because they were kind of flat most of the match. And, Rusev won. No one was ever in doubt of that. And, I'm just curious to see what is next for Rusev. Big E.
Another black guy.
Yeah. Another. I didn't even think of that.
What, every guy's face is black?
Yeah, I know. Every guy Rusev faces has been black. Just saying. So, who's next for him? There's no more black faces.
Booker T.
If he does go for Booker T, there's something going on. Well, I think the match was okay.
Also, I do like Big E's attire with the USA. It looks a lot better than the.
Yeah.
Say that. Better than the African colors. But it does look better.
Okay.
But it looks cool. It gave more like.
Yeah, it gave him a little more character.
Yeah, to Big E.
Made him look like an
cool.
Olympic weightlifter, maybe. Just give him a little character. That was good.
And another props to Lana.
For what?
For being Lana.
For being hot?
Yes.
Okay.
Ravishing.
So the next match on the card, if you watched the pre-show again, they announced it was Bo Dallas versus Kofi Kingston. And I was a little disappointed that we didn't...
Rose didn't have a match.
I didn't think he was. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get the actual match. I haven't really seen too much of Bo Dallas, so I was curious to see how he wrestles. And I was really confused at first why Kane came out. But after the match, they explained that Kofi Kingston made some tweets about Daniel Bryan. So maybe they were trying to... Kane was trying to, doing the bidding for the Authority. But I think that's stupid because they're pretty much saying you have to follow the wrestlers on Twitter to know what the feud is. I hope they don't go that direction. What do you think of that match?
I was disappointed because I enjoyed Bo Dallas's first two matches on the main roster, on SmackDown and Raw, both against Sin Cara. And I like the story he involves in the match. The motivation, the speaking, the way he congratulates his opponent and motivates him to do better. The victory lap, I think it's a real good gimmick, and I was really disappointed that he didn't get to wrestle. And yeah, I don't like the fact that now they're trying to make it like we have to follow like every single wrestler to know what's going on. And yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And Kane, what was he last 2 weeks? Following wrestlers on Twitter?
Apparently. One thing worth to note about Bo Dallas, they actually made him look like a real heel. I've heard in the past couple of weeks they haven't really been clear as to what he is, but he actually came out and insulted the Blackhawks, and it looked like he was being a full-on heel. So it's nice to see that he actually has a clear alignment now.
Next up, we got BMB, Mr. Bad News Barrett, versus RVD, Rob Van Dam. I wasn't expecting RVD to come out a winner out of this match. Bad news for him.
Match was pretty straightforward. I expected Bad News Barrett to win. The crowd was a little into it. It was cool to have the dueling chants. Both of them, some people were chanting for RVD, some people were chanting for Bad News Barrett. But RVD, I think, is getting a little stale. I don't see him changing. So it was great to keep the title on Bad News Barrett. And I'm curious to see where he's going to feud to next.
Next up, Daniel Bryan and Stephanie McMahon segment. So Stephanie comes out, calls out Daniel Bryan to surrender the title.
So Daniel Bryan and Stephanie McMahon have their segment. Brie Bella comes out with him. That was cool. I didn't expect that. And one thing to note, the crowd starts chanting for CM Punk. Did you see this?
Yes.
And then Stephanie McMahon finally, after months, addressed CM Punk for the first time. And
she has more balls than Triple H.
Yeah, and said that CM Punk has quit. So that was
It suck as a CM Punk fan, but I mean, you kind of knew he wasn't coming back.
Yeah, it's finally good to hear.
So the thing was, if Daniel Bryan did not surrender the titles, she was gonna fire Brie Bella.
I don't know. As soon as I saw Brie Bella, I just got the idea that she was just gonna quit, and I was actually surprised that, or not surprised because I kind of expected it for some odd reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Stephanie she just kept talking about taking more shots at Daniel Bryan about their future kids and whatever.
Bearded babies.
Yes. So Brie Bella called Stephanie, what's the word? Conniving, self-centered.
We can't say this is a kid show.
Bitch.
I gotta edit that out now.
Why?
Anyways. No, let me take a drink of water.
They said it, and that's a kid show.
It's pay-per-view.
This is pay-per-view.
What was we saying?
So Brie Bella did it.
Alright. So Brie Bella ended up quitting and surprisingly slapped Stephanie McMahon. And the funny thing is, I was watching this with my little girl cousin, and she was so into this segment. You know, she was jumping all over the room when she slapped her, and she kept asking me if this is real. I kept telling her it was. So it was nice to see that, you know, they could actually invest the casual fan in this.
I should have watched Total Divas.
Yeah, and yes, my little cousin watched Total Divas with me too. So not done. And so, do you think Brie Bella is actually going to quit? What do you think is going to happen with that?
Well, I think, she did quit.
Well, I mean, do you think
Is she going to stay gone? I think she'll stay gone for like a month maybe till Daniel heals completely.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll come back with him. But then the thing is, like, just because she quit doesn't mean Daniel Bryan still can't surrender the titles. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One theory I came up with is, like, even though Brie Bella quit, Stephanie McMahon's going to be mad. So she's going to force Brie Bella into a match at maybe SummerSlam. And I even got an even cooler idea that they should put the title on the line. I know it sounds stupid, but it just seems interesting.
Well, my theory is that Brie's going to be gone, and then Stephanie's going to take it out on Nikki. But then, if she takes it out on Nikki, is she taking it out on John?
Yeah, but they never really addressed that Nikki and John Cena are together.
They might start now.
I don't know. I think my idea would be a lot more fun.
Who's she going to fight? Kane?
Huh? Who?
Brie?
Fight Stephanie.
For the title? For
Yes.
the World Heavyweight title?
Yes.
At SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam.
Jesus Christ.
Tell me that wouldn't... At least Money in the Bank.
If it's a bra and panties match, I'm in.
Okay, no. Here, let me rephrase this. They fight for whether she'll strip the title off Daniel Bryan or not. So I think the crowd will really be into it. It'll bring a whole new dynamic to the show. You know.
Joe Wolf.
I think that's a great idea. WWE should capitalize on that. So the next match on the card was John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. I'll start this.
He's got the whole world
I really enjoyed this match.
in his hands.
Despite
What?
Despite the outcome, which I knew he was going to win, despite it being a little cheesy, I really enjoyed the match. There's a lot of spots. I was so blown away by John Cena throwing the ring steps at Bray Wyatt. Did you see that?
Don't ask me that.
Yeah, that was they went all out. We give John Cena we give him a hard time, but he actually delivered here, and I'm very pleased with the match. What do you think of this match?
Well, the outcome was predictable. The spots I did like was the same thing with the staircase, where John Cena threw it over. Where did he throw it? He threw it over the ropes to Bray Wyatt, who was on the outside, hit him straight in the face. I like the spot where Bray Wyatt had the staircase in the middle, and he stood up and played an orchestra. And I also like the spot where Luke Harper suplexed one of the Usos to the two tables stacked outside. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, that was WWE 2K14 moment right there.
Also, the spot where Bray Wyatt went for a clothesline, John Cena did a baseball slide, stood up really quick, and Bray Wyatt hit him with a crossbody, breaking the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
That was excellent. The match did have a lot of good spots, but then it's just the same thing going on for the last 3 months, just really protecting John Cena, making Bray Wyatt look weak.
I don't think Bray Wyatt looked really weak in this match. You know, I mean, sure he lost, but
Again.
yeah, but in general, it was a good match. He came out strong. You know, even though he had his the Wyatt family out there, John Cena had the Usos, so it wasn't like totally uneven. I appreciate that. It wasn't like last time where it's John Cena versus all three, and this time the Usos came out and helped, and the Usos I think made the match a lot more exciting too. So I'll give them that. And
7 out of 10.
7, I'll give it an 8.5.
I would like them to do one last match, 1-on-1 with no interference, and see how they do it without protecting John Cena too much.
One last match?
Yes. Why can't he just lose?
Who, John Cena?
Yes.
I don't know. I see this feud maybe ending. You know, I can't see him having one more match. I mean, at WrestleMania they had a one-on-one match, and I don't know, it wasn't too great. You know, so I don't know. I don't see this feud continuing, or maybe I don't know. So you see this feud continue?
I think it should continue. Well, maybe not because it's Money in the Bank and John Cena's going to be in the title picture. But yeah, that's probably it. They'll probably have one last match tonight on Raw, maybe. But where does John Cena go from here? I think John Cena goes back into the title picture, especially with SummerSlam coming around. They always want a big name.
Mm-hmm.
The same big name for the last 15, 20 years.
Second to last match of the night, Paige versus Alicia Fox. Alright match. It was a buffer match. You know, the crowd was kind of dead after the John Cena Bray Wyatt match. It was a shame that this wasn't as good as NXT TakeOver. You know, but the crowd was dead and it was hard for them to get up. They needed a rest. So there's not too much you could say. Alicia Fox, did a little bit of her post-match shenanigans, but nothing to write home about. What do you think?
Yeah, this match was very still. They had a match was a week before on Raw, and that match was better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
That one they both went at it. This match kind of just went like Alicia dominated the whole match, and then Paige out of nowhere does her complicated submission,
Which I like.
and she just wins. And then yeah, it wasn't really too into this match. The crowd was dead. 5 out of 10. But considering they're divas, 6 out of 10.
I would have gave it a 6 out of 10. Alright. Final match on the card. Main event. The Shield versus Evolution. What do you think?
I think this was the best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
It really delivered. It was even better than the last one that I had Extreme Rules, which was a great match also. I like the elimination stipulation.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy Batista looking like Mega Man.
Blue Tista.
But it started off hectic, settled down, kept going hectic, and it had everything.
Yeah, it told a good story. I was surprised. I thought the Evolution was going to get the upper hand more so and then eliminate the Shield for Roman Reigns to have a big comeback, but instead the Shield just dominated not the whole match, but took them all out one by one, and I found that surprising. It made Roman Reigns look kind of like the leader, but Dean Ambrose got a fall, right? He pinned Randy Orton. Roman Reigns got...
Well, Seth Rollins pinned Batista.
Really?
Well, because... Yeah, Roman Reigns hit him with the spear, and then Seth Rollins covered him.
Okay, Seth Rollins got a pin. So each one of them got a pin. So I think, the Shield coming out was a smart choice. I thought Evolution was going to take it.
Spots I enjoyed. I mean, I think fighting all over the arena was cool. When Seth Rollins jumped, and I think Triple H hit him with a monitor. That was cool. The big spot was when Seth Rollins was on top of the Titantron and jumped on everybody, and that was the turning point of the match. They go back to the ring. Batista goes for what is it called? Batista bomb?
Yeah, Batista bomb.
Batista goes for a Batista bomb on Seth. Batista goes for a Batista bomb on Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns out of nowhere with a spear. Seth Rollins pins him 1, 2, 3, and from then out it's all Shield.
Yeah. On a side note, we actually did this match on 2K, and that's exactly what happened. So, where do you think we go from here with the Shield and Evolution?
Well, Evolution. The rumor is Batista is leaving soon, right? Is it tonight or?
Well, actually, I read that he is scheduled on a live event for a week after this Raw. So he's still possibly going to be here.
But if he is gone, I see them splitting up again, and then Randy Orton feud with somebody else.
Like Bray Wyatt.
Like Bray Wyatt, Triple H goes back to his COO role. The Shield, which is... I see them breaking up soon.
Really?
Maybe at Money in the Bank.
I think they're like tighter than ever. You know, I don't see them breaking up. And even I feel like if they do break up, it's going to be on good terms at this point. It's not going to be your
standard breakup.
Yeah, standard. You know, breakup because they start fighting. I think they'll want to separate for good reasons or something. Maybe one of them wins Money in the Bank. Maybe that's how they would break up or something like that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked our show, make sure to leave a comment down below, subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on Twitter, you can find us down below, and stay tuned for next show.
Believe in the Shield.